Are we playing with fire? According to Saleem Safi, the intelligence agencies have been confused for the last 3 or 4 months, while now the common man has also seen that there is an organized conspiracy to cause sectarian riots in Pakistan. India is involved in this, but sometimes it is suspected that it also has the support of Western countries. There are some people in the government who are fanning the flames, knowingly or unknowingly. Saudi Arabia and Iran have heated up their proxies, while Turkey has also jumped in. Turkey is not fomenting sectarianism, but is busy creating proxies for political and strategic purposes. The assumption was made in Pakistan that as soon as the Afghan Taliban succeeded in Afghanistan, they would eliminate the TTP here in Pakistan. This helpless kept crying for the first day. That TTP is an extension or franchise of TTA in ideological and social terms, but the real heirs of the Pakistani state were happy to prove these two separate entities. If viewed only in a strategic mirror and analyzed in terms of their targets, then that claim seems to be correct. But those who understand the ideological and social aspects, or know the Afghan and Pakistani Taliban closely, they never consider the two as opposites or separate. It is unknown at this time whether this is the result of the impression of victory of the Afghan Taliban, or someone has collected through effort that the five factions of the Pakistani Taliban reunited and swore allegiance to Mufti Waliur Rahman. Immediately after that, the Taliban's operations intensified, and I am worried that Pakistan is once again becoming the Pakistan of 2013. The second threat is the situation in Afghanistan. The slow pace of intra-Afghan reconciliation following the US-Taliban deal raises these concerns in my mind. The extent to which the United States is serious about ending the war and withdrawing from Afghanistan is not so in bringing peace to Afghanistan through intra-Afghan reconciliation. Pakistan has put full pressure on the Taliban to reconcile with the Afghan government, but there is no significant pressure from the United States on the Ashraf Ghani government. Sometimes I feel that the United States wants to hand over Afghanistan to civil war by holding inter-Afghan talks for a while so that neighbors like China, Pakistan and Iran cannot live in peace. It is a fact that the number one target of the US is now China, and it does not want the success of the Belt and Road Project and CPAC. The United States wants to withdraw its forces from Afghanistan, but it wants to create conditions here that would stand in the way of the CPAC. In the same way, it persuaded India to annex occupied Kashmir, but now it is pressuring Pakistan to recognize the status. It may also be aimed at making India free to compete with China, and then the two together create chaos in Afghanistan, and from there impact Unqua and Balochistan through their proxies. The situation in Pakistan as a whole is critical at the moment, but the situation in Gilgit-Baltistan, the tribal districts and Balochistan is extremely worrying. The nature is different everywhere, but there is growing anti-state sentiment. The leadership of Muhajirs and Sindhis has been brought under control, but the Muhajirs and Sindhi youth are not under control or happy at all. The way in which the MQM's demand for Karachi province is vehemently repeated and then inappropriate slogans were chanted against the Muhajirs in a procession shows that hatred was only suppressed. This lava could boil at any moment. Only Punjab remained, but now even in Punjab, slogans like PTM have started appearing in PMLN rallies. The economy had already been destroyed by PTI's hypocrites, and Corona made up the shortfall. Thus, inflation and unemployment have made the lives of the people worse. These are the real problems and challenges of this state, but unfortunately the country has been handed over to such political dwarfs, who are neither aware of these issues nor understand them. They only consider the opposition as a problem of the country. They are good or bad, and the fact is that Maulana Fazlur Rahman and his party have the status of safety valve to deal with issues like sectarianism and TTP. Asfandia Wali Khan and Mahmood Khan Achakzai or their parties have the status of safety valve on issues like PTM. The remote control of the youth of Karachi is still in the hands of MQM, while the interior Sindh is in the hands of Zardari, and the same position is held by Nawaz Sharif in Punjab. Now the government itself is trying to provoke them all and incite them to revolt. Unfortunately, this issue is being looked at with reference to Nawaz Sharif, Zardari and Imran Khan. But now that Maulana Fazlur Rahman will use his religious cards to the fullest to bring his people into the fray, along with the Belak and Passions nationalists, under the umbrella of PPP and PMLN, or only PMLN, so won't these people shake this state? Then if they turn their guns on Pindi instead of Islamabad, won't there be riots? In presence of the above-mentioned issues and challenges, when this field is decorated, guess for yourself, what will be the fate of this country? These challenges required that the grievances of the opposition parties be addressed and that they be respectfully persuaded to cooperate in tackling the challenges facing the state. But we are such an unfortunate nation that as the dangers increase, the opposition is being pushed against the wall. Dear friends, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe now and share with your friends for more interesting stories and articles. Thank you.